This is Pete Wenners, Table Rock Lake Fishing Guide. Normally I'm talking about how to catch fish on Table Rock. Today I'm going to talk about a new deep cycle battery that Pro Guide Batteries has introduced to the market. Now it's not new to a lot of us fishermen. Myself, several other guides, some Bassmaster Elite fishermen have been testing different batteries for the past 6 years to come out with what we feel is the best all-around battery. Now this is an AGM battery. Some people may know it as a dry cell or a gel battery. You know, it's basically sealed. It's got no acid in it. There's no maintenance. Nothing will ever spill out. You notice I got it sitting on the carpet of my boat, which I wouldn't dare do that with an acid battery, fear of it eating my carpet up. It's got different applications as far as your post. It's got a regular post on it, or you can unscrew the post out of the top of the battery and put your leads right in to screw it down, get you a little bit lower profile if you need it. The batteries come in 3 different sizes. There's a group 24, group 27, and group 31. Now it depends on the application, what size boat you have, will depend on what size battery that you need. But for most of the bass boats, what we recommend running on the trolling motor batteries, if you got a 36 volt system, the group 27 will be more than substantial for what you need. Now I run a 31, and I know like Brian Snowden and Chad Morgan-Taylor that fish the Elite Series, they run the group 31s. We want to get the biggest battery in there that we can. We don't ever want to have to think about not fishing in a windy point for an extended period of time, worried about whether or not we're going to run out of power. We got enough things to worry about trying to catch fish, so we don't want to worry about how much reserve power that we have. But for the average fisherman, most conditions, group 27 is fine on a 36 volt system. And on a 24 volt system, depends on the length of your boat, you know, how big a boat you have. The group 27 will work in most of them cases. Now, the great thing about these AGMs is how many cycles you can get out of the battery. And what we talk about when we're talking about cycles is like every time you go out and fish, you run the battery down, charge it back up, you know, that's a cycle. On the average, I'll run 225 cycles on a set of batteries per year. Now I had a set of these 5 years ago. I ran for 2 years, had approximately 350 to 375 hours. I gave them to, we put them in another guide's boat, and he's ran them for 3 years, so that's 5 years on the same set of batteries. He's entering his 6th year this year. That's incredible on a deep cycle battery. And you know, talking about, you know, charging the batteries, what's awesome about these batteries is they'll charge in 40 to 50% faster than an acid battery. Meaning when I come in at the end of the day fishing, it usually takes about 3 hours, maybe 4 if I've run them real hard that day, to get a full charge in them. And I don't have any fancy charger. I've got a 4-bank, 10 amp per bank charger, you know, built into the boat. Some of the other batteries we tested were great batteries, but you had to have a specific charger for that battery. So once you bought the batteries, then you had to go out and spend several $100s more on a charger for them batteries. Now on a crank battery, we've had a lot better luck running a deep cycle, this group 31 on the crank battery. The reason why, you know, from 5 years ago to now, we keep running more and more electronics. We're running 2, some of us are running 3 graphs. We got power poles on the boats. And when you're trying to keep fish alive in a live well, especially in the summertime, you've got your aerator running full time, you've got your circulator running, you've got your aerator running. Depending on how your boat's set up, that could be 3 pumps per live well. So you could be running 6 pumps, a couple fish finders, and if you're not moving every hour or so, you're not charging that crank battery. And that's where this deep cycle battery, I don't know all the technical terms, but it's got more reserve. It'll last longer in that situation. You know, a lot of you, as I know, have been in this situation where you've been on the same stretch of bank or on a structure spot for 4 or 5 hours. You go to start your big motor up to go to weigh in, you've got a good sack of fish, and you just hear click, click. Or the motor will start, but it won't accelerate. All the computers on these new motors, if you got too low a voltage in that battery, it won't allow you to accelerate. You know, it won't allow you to get up on plane to charge that battery. So, I mean, we have found this deep cycle battery. We're all using it in our crank battery. And I think that's a must over the, you know, more so the crank battery than the trolling motor batteries, because you know, with all the electronics that we're running off that one battery. Now, you know, where to buy these batteries? They've got over 2,000 retail stores throughout Missouri, western Kansas, northwest Oklahoma, northern and central Arkansas. They're pretty much stores all over the place. If you're not sure about where your nearest dealer is, get a hold of batteryoutfitters.com. They'll tell you where the nearest dealer is to you. They can probably tell you whether or not they've got the batteries that you want in stock. If for some reason you want to run a different type of battery, I mean, they sell Optimas, Odysseys, Trojans, about every kind of battery that's out there, Battery Outfitters sells. But like I say, after several years of testing, we found that this battery is the best all-around battery, performs the best, and it's the most economical, you know, price-wise, affordable battery to run. And you know, like I was saying, you know, where to buy them. Most all your marinas, all your tackle stores, your mom and pop convenience stores, they're scattered out through Missouri. Just about every place you pull into a marina on Table Rock or Truman or Stockton Lake, you'll find a Pro Guide battery dealer on the lake. And if you ever have any service issues, you won't find anybody better to work with than the people at Pro Guide Batteries.